r/AskReddit. What do you hate most about your culture? I really hate how African Americans, especially young ones, have the idea that you're not really black unless you don't talk or act ghetto enough. Edit. Geez, you guys are getting technical with the whole black or African American thing. I always thought that it should be just black, but I'm not too sure how else to describe the group of people I'm referring to. American black still wouldn't be specific enough if we are referencing a certain culture, but whatever. I really hate this, especially when someone asks me why do I talk, act, dress so white. I also have noticed that some of my black friends are somewhat shunned for having parents from Africa. One of my friends in particular is shunned because he dresses and acts white and his parents are from Africa. He takes it in stride though. The quote in his Twitter bio is something along the lines of black enough so white girls feel rebellious, educated enough so their parents love me. I'm Mexican. How it's become a joke how young Mexican girls get pregnant. We should be discouraging it. Instead it's sort of expected. What to expect when it's expected you'll soon be expecting. The story of my 20s. I live in the UK and I hate the binge drinking culture. I enjoy alcohol myself and I'm not saying that it should be banned or anything as drastic as that, but I wish everyone had a bit more self-respect instead of the weekly display of drunk people with their bits hanging out, vomiting in the street, peeing in public, that sort of thing. Aussies too. I don't necessarily feel that we need to show more self-respect or whatever like that other commenter said, because we should just do whatever we want. But it's a little scary how strong the pressure to drink in Australia can be, at all ages, all social groups. It's considered really weird not to drink regularly and somewhat heavily. Italians are too obsessed with image. I never realized until I got older and moved to America where money still means a lot, but you don't put items back on the shelf for not costing enough. Edit. My most upvoted comment is about my family being the opposite of a 2-pence horse. Do a lot of y'all have beats? Pretty much. Filipino. I hate that we get so butthurt about racist remarks against us when we're a deeply racist culture ourselves. Completely agree. So proud of the country, but look how polluted and corrupt it is. I'm not a big environment nut, but damn. Stop chucking garbage into the river and ducking everything up. The nicest parts of the country are the parts which haven't been disturbed by excessive population and the parts which were under US control until a decade or two ago. I'm Filipino and I was just in Costa Rica. My aunt asked how it was. I said it's like the Philippines but cleaner. She said I don't appreciate where I came from. In part African American, and it's come into our culture that we're not cool unless we grow up thugging. I was often shunned as a kid because I'd rather dress as Colton from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air than dress like Slim Shady. Another thing I hate is the way African Americans, at least in my area, would not like to associate with a handful of mixed kids. Edit. Thanks for the wonderful discussion. I did not think this would get this much attention. I hate to second this, but it's so true sometimes. I was raised in an area where I wasn't shunned for being mixed, but it's amazing how many people will just decide that if you're mixed, you're actually just black. God forbid you correct them, because then you're just a racist bitch who hates herself for being black. Reminds me of the good ole I dislike Obama. Then a person says you're just racist. Am I racist against his white half or his black half? Because I still don't know. Scottish here. Teenage pregnancy, binge drinking, violence. I think the three of them all cause each other at some point or another. Help. I got mugged by a gang of pregnant teens. Drunk pregnant teens. Celebrity worship. This is prevalent in most cultures. It's even prevalent on Reddit. The number of times I see Uniten, Will, or any of the other moderately well-known Redditors summoned is ridiculous. And then Reddit just drools all over the place when they show up. Oh, I can't believe that XYZ responded to my comment. Swoon, cut it out. Reddit, they're people too. And their comment is no more or less valid than anyone else's. Edit. To clarify, when I say no more or less valid, I'm specifically referring to non-expertise related comments. Yes, Uniten is a biologist. And yes, Wheaton is an actor. And maybe Vargas is a chick. And when a subject matter expert weighs in with a comment related to their field, we should certainly give that more weight. However, if they're just making a joke about something, many of the comments tend to be mildly sycophantic at best. Edit 2. I want to respond to the duck unidon will etc comments I'm receiving. My purpose was not to turn Reddit against the popular members. Most of them deserve their popularity. I'm saying that Reddit needs to stop acting like school children who just saw Bieber in public. Cost system. Damn tired of hearing my parents say things like, oh gosh, he's too dark for him. Well, duck you. I tried to be a regular Indian and all, but I realized I was in love with a white girl, so duck it. I'm with her now. Is that light enough for you, mom and dad? Is that really part of the caste system? Skin color? I know it helps with determining where in India Indians are from. Skin color has always played a role. The darker someone is equals more work outside they had to do themselves equals poorer. Light skin has been valued quite highly through the years. I'm Korean American, but I hate the skinny plastic surgery culture over in Korea. If you're not under 100 pounds, you better be going to the gym because you are fat by their standards. My cousin from Korea visited me for a few months and we exercised every day because she said she was getting too fat and jiggly. She was 5 feet 6 and weighed 98 pounds. I, on the other hand, am 5 feet 3 and weigh 115 pounds. 5 feet 3 and weigh 115 lbso. That's normal. 5 feet 6 and weighed 98 lbs. That's scary. I grew up with my parents and relatives telling me I needed to get double eyelid surgery. I'm 21 now. Still have my main eyelids. But the pressure has been increasing now that I'm of an age when most people get the procedure done. It's so frustrating. Australian culture can be very racist. I don't like that one bit. Edit. Very interesting responses. I feel I need to express that I certainly do not believe that everyone and every part of Australia is racist, but I've seen it many times with my own 2 eyes and I don't think you can deny that it is an issue here. Q. What's the difference between Australia and yogurt? A. Culture boom boom. I'm Chinese, and I've lived in Canada my entire life. I really don't like how a lot of us like to congregate together. It's really hard to avoid making only Asian friends in bigger cities like Vancouver/Toronto. Edit. I'm a CBC and not a dude. I grew up in Markham. I'm white and I could only make Asian friends. Edit. I was a gifted kid, so it made it more so. U.S. citizen here. I hate our focus on making and spending money. We work most of the week just so we can spend the money on things that satiate us over the weekends. And if you aren't actively trying to make more money, you're not living up to your potential. Maybe I'd like my life to be more than about making money to shove at corporations. And of course, marketing plays a huge role in all this. Also, competitive eating. Saw some of that shit yesterday. I hate the baby boy preference in the Chinese culture. It's not just China. India and some Middle Eastern countries are like that too. To a lesser extent though. There's a documentary on the subject called It's a Girl. It's on Netflix. There was a lady in there from India that had 8 girls and killed them all immediately after they were born. No remorse. Nothing. She said it in a matter of fact way, like she had killed a cockroach or something. I was so disturbed by that film. Oh, I looked the documentary up after your comment. My god. That pediatrician who was pregnant with twin girls, and she wouldn't abort, so her husband threw her down the stairs to get her to miscarry. When her babies were born 2 months early, her sister-in-law and mother-in-law both wished for the girls to just die, and her husband has never been convicted or, apparently, even arrested for what he did to her. Blairu. One mediator went to the extent of telling me that I should go back to my husband and in-laws, and that my parents can turn to the legal system when I am killed. Whoa, what great advice she was given. Interview here. I'm black. I wish that we could get along better. I'm white. I wish we could all just be nice to each other. Let's all be friends. As a white male in the US, I'm pretty done with stoner culture. I smoke and I can't stand all these 420 blazed guys constantly bragging about smoking and parading it around. We get it, you like to smoke weed. You don't need to wear Snoop Dogg shirts and constantly talk about how high you get. I just want to get home from work, smoke with a buddy and play Xbox till I go to sleep. End rant. The longer I live here, the more it drives me nuts that everyone has to be so goddamn polite and careful with each other. Don't disagree. Don't question. Don't provoke. Sure, do whatever and say whatever behind someone's back, but for duck's sake don't say anything to anyone's face. Sweden, the home of clenching your fist in your pocket. Edit. Well, this caused quite a debate among my fellow Swedes. Shocking. Anyhow, you who disagree, just try acting out of order like cutting sunks or whatever and report back with results. $10 says everyone tried to avoid even looking at the one who causes trouble. It is really weird. I am a black person living in an area with hardly any immigrants. To fly in the face of this, I am thinking about publicly confronting people who stare at me when I am grocery shopping or eating at a restaurant. Just meeting the stares with a hello or something. I know such a thing can be uncomfortable. Maybe I can shame them into stopping. The lagom concept and jantulagen are also really weird if you have just moved here. Maybe some Swede can explain those to everyone else. Careful, an unsolicited hello might kill a Swede. I'm a nerd, and although I love my people, I hate the victim mentality nerds seem to have. Nobody wants to date me. Girls just want attractive jerks. Well, you could probably find someone if you bathed regularly and maybe lost some weight, and it would probably help if you weren't so rude to people. I'm a total nerd at heart, but I just can't deal with the community. You go to a bar and see normal people everywhere. You go to a nerdy event and everyone looks weird. What is so hard about looking normal that so many nerds can't do it? The way that young people are taken advantage of. Go plunge yourself into tens of thousands of dollars worth of debt when you're 18. You should get a credit card. You should take out a car loan. Buy more stuff. General excess consumerism. The machismo and the die-hard programmed old school ways. Open bracket. Mexican. The way these stupid Muslim extremists portrayed the rest of us. The stereotypes about indigenous Australians. For example, sniffing glue, sniffing petrol, and worse social status than bogans. This is honestly ridiculous. Lady gets high off bath salts and she's just a crazy lady. Aboriginal guys sniff petrol and now they all do. And I still have no clue how bogans are somehow above aboriginals. I've never had a pleasant experience with a bogan. What the duck is a bogan? I'm African American and I used to hate that hip hop culture and African American culture were indistinguishable when I was growing up. I am a nerd. Anime, video games, comics, science, all the good stuff, and would find that I wouldn't be embraced by some nerds because I was black and automatically cool. So I had to prove myself. I was also shunned from certain other black people for being anything other than the kind of personalities presented in hip hop. When you are a part of another culture, you got the choice to be gothic, grungy, preppy, whatever kind subculture you wanted to pick and get into. I think culturally that hip hop was so tied to race that it wasn't as much as option to choose an alternative style and still be liked by any group. The insular nature of black culture, hip hop culture, led to anything other than hip hop automatically labeling you as trying to be white instead of just trying to be a part of another subculture independent of race. I think things are starting to be a bit different now, so that's a plus. P.S. I usually just say I'm black, but I figure there might be other blacks who aren't American with a different story to tell. Edit. Added a bit more. French and Paris. That we think we're superior to everyone else where we can't get anything done right. That antisemitism still exists. We are usually very close-minded people, not outgoing at all, especially in Paris. Asking a stranger what time is it feels like you're menacing him with a weapon. LOL. As an Arab whose parents immigrated from Algeria, we cry about racism and Islamophobia, yet we can sometimes be very troublesome, and sometimes anti-Semitic. What is funny though, is that the far right is rising lately, and my mother, aunts and I are laughing about it. Can't wait till they kick all those Arabs out of France. Haha. If you think a bit differently in Saudi, then you're going to hell. Edit. And sometimes, you're going to hell just because you think. Afghans being proud of never being defeated by foreign invaders. It's not even true. They are militarily demolished every time. It's just they're too stubborn and backwards to accept change. Also, Pashtuns being so afraid of women they'd rather duck young boys. The easier question is, what do I not hate about my culture? the effect social networks are producing. Everyone are only displaying their achievements and good things they did or lived. This led to a massive happiness hunting or SMTH like that, yet everyone seems more sad in reality. Respect our culture and flags Northern Ireland. Such fun this time of year. Methodic bullfighting. I can't stand it. I hate that America turned education into a business. No one goes to college for any reason other than we bought into a mindset that if you don't, you are going to be a poor simpleton for your whole life. Critical thinking and creativity have declined and been traded for facts and statistics that are just regurgitations of some professor who learned them from some other professor, and so on. I'm not knocking education, but the system we created. I guess I am not answering the question 100% accurately, but as a Jewish male who lives and works in NYC, I hate dealing with our Hasidic Jewish customers. It's a male-dominated business culture with a comical devotion to skirting rules based purely on self-interest. Obviously it's not everyone, but the vast majority of people I deal with on a day-to-day basis work in Williamsburg, very high Hasidic population, are abusing social services, totally ignoring basic traffic laws, belittling non-Jewish workers, involved in some kind of shady business dealings, supporting super corrupt politicians. As long as they funnel money into their neighborhoods, there is a long-standing tension between the secular and Hasidic populations in NYC, and as a Jew I find it very hard to defend my people. I'm a Mexican American from California. I can't stand Cinco de Mayo. Most Mexicans that I know make a big deal about it, even though a lot of them don't know why the holiday exists. The way I see it treated, you may as well call it Mexican Pride Day. I mainly see people doing things like wearing the Mexican flag like a cape and tucking it under the hoods of their cars. I even once saw a guy holding up traffic by swerving between lanes while waving the Mexican flag and blasting ranchera music. Stuff like this makes us look bad. I just replace this image in my mind with someone from the United States waving an American flag around blasting Kid Rock, and it looked like the same thing. A lot of people I know think it's cool to get so drunk they vomit on themselves and pass out. They also brag about how many beers they can drink in a night. Hispanic here. Hispanic people are always late. Why? I mean, my husband is white and I have to give my family a different time to meet than his family. I always tell them that we are meeting 30 minutes earlier. It's disrespectful and just plain rude. I'm Jewish and the majority of my people are not exactly welcoming to outsiders and foreigners. Almost xenophobic actually. Howard ducking coffee shop as a national icon. I'm NZ, it's all rugby, and it's above all other sports, especially in rural NZ. Barely any other sports get recognized. I'm a Swede. How we avoid contact to strangers. http://imga.com/JPG. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.